My name is Lauren Messina, and I did the overtraining effects on horses. The researchers that worked on this research project were a team of Dutch researchers. They all researched in genomics and bioinformatics and animal breeding and genomics center at Wageningen UR Livestock Research in Leiden. They were part of the Utrecht University in the Netherlands, and all the procedures were approved by the Institutional Animal Care and Medical Ethical Committee of the Utrecht University. The horses were two groups of young standardbred geldings. They were trained in 3 couples of 2 horses. Each test horse has his own match control. They were aged 20 to 22 months at the beginning of the experiment, and all of the horses were owned by the faculty of the Veterinary Medical of the University of Utrecht. The horses were individually housed. They were given grass silage, concentrated feed. They had vitamin and nutrient supplements. They also had free choice salt blocks and water, and the horses were their height and weight was measured at the beginning of each test. All of the training sessions and exercise sessions were performed on a high-speed treadmill. There were 32 total weeks divided into 4 phases. Each training session had a warm-up and a cool-down. The warm-up took place part on a walking wheel and part on the treadmill, same with the cool-down. And on the resting days, the horses would still walk an hour on the walking machines. The training was adapted to the individual heart frequency of the horses. They would take their heart rate to figure out what training program they could go with. One group followed a regular training protocol, and the other followed an intense training protocol, followed by a 4-week period of detraining. And the detraining was meant to undo the harmful effects that the overtraining could have caused. And this is their training schedule. The heart rate were taken to determine the percent of exercise possible for each of the horses. Phase 1 was a 4-week period. Week 1, it was 3 times a week at 30% for 20 to 30 minutes. Week 2 was 4 times a week at 30% for 25 to 45 minutes. Week 3 was 4 times a week at 40% for 30 to 45 minutes. And week 4 was 4 times a week at 50% for 30 to 45 minutes. And again, the percent was based off of their heart rate. Phase 2 was the longest period of 18 weeks. It was a mix of endurance and high intensity training. It was 4 times a week, and they were giving 60% at the trot for 20 to 24 minutes, or 75% for 16 to 18 minutes, and then there was a couple minute bouts given at 80 to 85%. And this was considered a regular training schedule. This was all the horses. And next was phase 3, which was a 6-week period. This was intensified training for 1 horse of each couple that was randomly selected. It was 6 days a week training for the first 3 weeks, and then it moved up to 7 days a week training for the last 3 weeks. They're going 24 to 35 minutes at 60 to 75% with 5-minute bouts of 80 to 85%. And this was considered very heavy training for the horses that were selected to do the high intensified training. Phase 4 was a 4-week period, and this was just endurance training for 20 minutes at 60% for 3 days and 70% for 1 day. And the rest days they would just walk on the walker for about an hour, and this was considered the detraining. There were biopsies given to the horses several times during the research period, and this analyzed the molecular changes caused by the training regimen. It revealed changes not only to muscle-specific processes, but also to the body-wide processes. The training effects. Regular training affected muscle-specific protein metabolism and increased the carbon dioxide export from the tissue, where the intense training affected the energy metabolism, the fatty tissues, and the heart. There was significantly harmful overtraining effects to the heart, the musculoskeletal system, and the immune system. and these were seen through the blood plasma, saliva, and urine that was tested to find these results. Additional findings were that the detraining did not reduce the effects of overtraining, and the researchers do not recommend instituting a detraining protocols to compensate for overtraining. The next step would be to find a way that trainers could use to test their horses to see if they were overtrained, and this could possibly be created within the next 3 years. And that is all. Thank you so much.